What is going on, YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this being my review for the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10, Episode 13. So, as y'all know, as I do my reviews, I typically only talk about the things that stuck out to me. So I will not be covering Tia going to her father's, home in DC. It was really nice for Tia to be able to, do that. Wendy was doing a commencement speech for all girls school. That was great for, for Wendy to do. Wendy's very achieved. She's done a lot of things in her career, and everyone's proud of her for doing that. Also, I do not care about Ashley and her family celebrating Dean's birthday as well as some birthdays of her aunts and uncles and things of that nature. That was cute. So be it. Of course, we're talking about Ashley's stepfather and, him going to rehab. I think that's great that he's going to rehab, taking care of his alcoholic issues. That's always great to see. Let's get into the nitty gritty. So, Monique has this event that's celebrating the release of her book that's coming out. She wrote some notes to herself, finding herself, things of that nature. I think it's great that Monique is doing better. I did watch Rodney the Voice's review of this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, and he said that it's great that Monique is, getting better with Giselle and is getting in a better place with her. However, it doesn't seem like Monique has reached out to Candace, and I don't necessarily have an issue with that because Candace is one of those people where I don't believe that she's able to get over grudges. I think that Candace will probably always have it out for Monique because of the embarrassment that came along with their altercation that took place in season 5. So, yes, it would be great for Monique to reach out to Candace, and who knows, maybe Monique has reached out to Candace. I don't have necessarily have that much of an opinion of Monique. I did not watch the first 5 seasons of Real Housewives of Potomac. I honestly didn't start watching until season 7, I think it was. So I really can't say, how I necessarily feel about Monique. I know that she treated Chris a certain type of way while she was on the show. A lot of people felt like she really didn't care for him or did not, really love him like that. And I don't know if I would want to watch that because I think that would taint my opinion on Monique as it is. But, Monique reads some excerpts of her book. A lot of the girls are saying that she's quite long winded. Stacey is saying that it seems like it's a whole lot of self. But it's sort of kind of a book about Monique and herself. So I don't have too much of an issue with that. So then Monique goes on to say that she is the binder bitch. And so every single one of the girls that have attended this gathering has a binder, and so they're going to write things that they like about themselves, what they think about themselves, and also what they think about the other girls in the group. So a couple things that stood out to me is that Wendy thinks that Kay, or Kiarna rather, is fake. Then Kiarna strikes back and says, well, my bags aren't fake. Okay, it is what it is. Kiarna is like, I need for this to be Kiarna's last season for sure. Kiarna, Ashley, and Angel, they got to go. They got to go. Ashley says that Angel is a catfish. Of course, Ashley is going to say that. Ashley is she's such a non-factor in this show right now. Like, she literally has no storyline whatsoever. She starts up mess with all of the girls for absolutely no reason whatsoever when they did not deserve it. Like, Ashley is becoming a Giselle Jr. at this point. Giselle writes nothing about Stacey. That's kind of been Giselle's whole thing with Stacey all season long, is that she does not know her. She does not know anything about her. She doesn't understand her. But I think Giselle sees that Stacey, well, I think she sees the potential of Stacey being a fan favorite, which Stacey is obviously a fan favorite for this 10th season. And I think Giselle sees Stacey coming for her spot. For those of you who have not been aware, the seating chart for the reunion of this year, Stacey is sitting next to Andy as well as Giselle sitting next to Andy. I think there's only been one reunion where Giselle wasn't sitting next to Andy. I think it was the reunion where they were all wearing black and Giselle was sitting next to Karen. But yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, and then as far as Angel and Ashley are concerned, Angel said that she doesn't appreciate the word eviction being mentioned as far as her current living situation in Potomac is concerned. And Ashley then apologizes because Ashley felt seemed like she was really affected by that accusation. And so Ashley apologizes because Angel did say, if you're going to talk about me like this, what's the point of you coming into my home? Because Angel in the previous episode invited all the girls to Colorado so they could see her home, they could see where she lives, they can see about her business and her wilderness luxury type thing going on. So it is what it is. And then after, Angel disinvites Ashley to her home, Giselle pipes up and says, well, if Ashley is disinvited, since that's my ace boon coon, then, I'm not going either. And I think Giselle, knowing that she's, quote, the star of the show, she's sort of kind of the HBIC since Karen's not there anymore. Then Giselle knows if Giselle's not going to the trip, then the trip is kind of null and void in a way, which I think is true because if Ashley and Giselle weren't going on this trip, then there probably wouldn't be too much drama and there probably wouldn't be much to see or film. So it is what it is. So the girls are heading to Colorado. Angel is actually already there. And Wendy pipes up and says that, when we go on girls' trips, the girls almost always travel together. So this is kind of weird. But again, this is Angel's first season. Maybe she doesn't know the protocol. I don't blame Angel for not wanting to travel with the girls because I think Angel already feels like the girls don't like her, which I would probably make that same assumption, considering the way that she's been treated since she's gotten onto the show. Me personally, I would, if I were Angel, I would not invite these girls to Colorado. But I think because of Angel's living situation, I don't necessarily think she had a choice. I'm assuming that the producers encouraged her to invite the girls to Colorado, so Angel would have a moment for the show. So they get into these SUVs when Wendy and Stacy are riding with Angel, and Angel tells Wendy that she actually likes her. And she doesn't apologize for going at Wendy for the whole catfish comment, which was literally said by Giselle. The word catfish never came out of Wendy's mouth. And so Angel is trying to fix things between her and Wendy. But Wendy says in the confessional that it's too little too late. Not going to happen. She don't see it for Wendy, which that is Angel's fault. Literally only Angel's fault, because if Angel had directed her energy towards the person who actually called her a catfish, which was Giselle, she probably would have Wendy on her side. But I think Wendy and Stacey are the safest women on the cast to have this moment in the SUVs with. Of course, Kiana was a little bit upset that she wasn't going to be in the SUV with Angel, but who cares? Because I sure don't. But anyway, so they get to the house. Or on the way to the house, Giselle keeps bringing up this eviction word, and apparently this is going to be Giselle's storyline when it comes to Angel, that she was evicted, she was evicted, she was evicted. So here we go. Angel tells Wendy and Stacy that Giselle and Ashley will not be happy with their accommodations at the house that they're going to. And Stacy's like, well, we're not going to your house. And Angel's like, no, we're not going to my house. We're going to another house. So the house that the girls are staying at is actually quite beautiful. Tia and Kiana will actually be staying with Angel at her house, whereas the other girls will be staying at this other house. I'm assuming that Angel rented this other house for the girls. So um, Monique then says, and I'm glad that Monique is coming on this trip. Monique then says, well, why aren't we going to your house? And Angel's sort of kind of tongue tied. She doesn't really know what to say. She just said, it is what it is. Y'all not staying at my house. And once again, if I were Angel, I would not want these hateful ass ladies to be staying in my home. You know, it's a beautiful home. It's a really, really nice home. They've been showing pictures of it all season long of this house that they have in Colorado, her and Bobby. So it is a beautiful home. And to bring these women to her home for them to just criticize it, because that's all Giselle and Ashley would do is criticize her home, then I ain't gonna give you that opportunity to do that to me. So we get to the room assignments. Stacy probably has the best room in the house. It's very luxurious. She has her own bathroom, all that good stuff. Wendy has the basement. Uh, Monique has a nice room. It's really really nice. And then Giselle and Ashley are staying in what seems like a kid's room with two, maybe twin size beds in it. And Giselle and Ashley are like, well, Giselle primarily is like, no, I'm not staying in this room whatsoever. And it's interesting to me because if I'm not mistaken, I feel like the last time Giselle had a trip, she made Stacy and Kiana stay in a room with bunk beds. So I think because Giselle feels like she's the HBIC of the franchise, that she deserves better living quarters. She's used to five-star accommodations, so it is what it is. And then Giselle goes on to say that she has some tea concerning Angel's eviction, and Angel says, wait a minute. Giselle's like, I'm just keeping it in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let it out now, but I got it in my back pocket, girl. And Angel's like, well, y'all not coming to my house until you reveal this quote tea that you have concerning my eviction. So let it out, girl. And that's how the episode ends. Here's the thing. I do like Angel. I actually see a lot of myself in Angel. However, she is not right for the show. Whereas I feel like I would not be right for a reality TV show because reality TV is literally nothing but reality TV. It's not reality TV whatsoever. Although there may not be a written out script, everything is sort of kind of coordinated and everything is sort of kind of set in stone before the season starts. And women, the women that are a part of the show, they have to tell producers about their storyline, what they're going to be talking about during the season, things of that nature. So Angel's just not right for the show. And the fact that, these girls are so cutthroat with one another, Angel's not right for that type of, scenario, that type of situation. Once again, if Angel had thicker skin, I think she would be better for the show because she allows a lot of things to get to her. Excuse me. And you've got to let this stuff roll off your back. Just like Wendy told Angel during Monique's event for her book. You can't take these things too seriously. And this literally just for the show. This might not even be the way that these women actually feel about you. They're just saying things for the camera. So what do you guys think? Just tell me down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out on my channel. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts about this season, this episode. Let me know who your favorite housewives are. How do you think the reunion's gonna go? Let me know down in the comments. Also, be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Also, be sure to catch me on Monday nights at 6 p.m. for my 90 Day Fiancé reviews with Dustin Butler. We've always got a great time. We're currently reviewing the 8th season of Before the 90 Days. It's by far my favorite season of 90 Day Fiancé that I've covered since I've started covering the show. Also, be sure to join me on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. for my Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. I go live at 8 p.m. with my sister, Prophetic Fire Reiki, aka Jennifer Star McCullum, as well as our friend Bianca Edwards. We always have a great time on Thursday nights. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.